Alrighty, my letter in. Hi.
Hi. Sorry, my video was not working.
No, you're all good. You're all good. How's your day?
Good. I just got back from Baltimore visiting my boyfriend, so that was a lot of fun. But right now I'm just hanging out with my family, waiting for my internship to start. You.
Okay. My day was good. Just chilling. But yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. So thank you for applying and interviewing to be on the 2025 and 2026 Midwest Association of Filipino Americans Executive Board. We truly appreciate it. I know it's like a long process, so thank you so much. So I'm just gonna go explain like the interview process and then see if you have any questions.
Cool. Sounds good.
So for the interview process, you'll have 5 minutes to read your speech, which I'll give you like a 1 minute warning and 30-second warning, then time warning in the chat. So just keep an eye out on that. And
Mhm.
then after that, we'll give you like a few moments to like to breathe, like you just did your speech, give you like a little like relax time. And then we'll give you oh, and then we'll go on to the Q&A session, which is 5 minutes.
Okay.
Um, I know you have two speeches prepared, right? Or do
Um,
you plan on just doing one or running for one position?
doing what? Just 'cause like I was just like gonna put like both of them together. I mean, I thought that that's what it was, but yeah, I guess I'd prefer that, but if not, that's totally okay. I can make it up on the spot.
No, you're good.
But yeah, I just
Just the one. Okay. And then is it the they're all combined, right? So like BPE and director of okay. Okay. We'll ask for your questions then. We'll probably do like 2 minutes of like 2 minutes 30, of like VPE questions and then like another 2 minutes of director of marketing. Because like
okay.
10 minutes, like that's a lot, like in a row. Like
Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense. But fully prepared for anything.
Mhm. All right. But do you have like any questions?
Yeah, just about like the speech specifically. I think I just like knew that there was a 5 minute like cutoff, but I was just like, what if I went like less than that? I mean, I don't know if I will, but
No, you're
is that
good. Yeah.
okay?
Don't worry. You don't have to use like all the time. Like whatever you have for prepared is what you have. So
Okay, sounds good.
very chill. But whenever you're ready, I'll start the timer.
Okay, sure. So I'm just gonna do like a little bit of an introduction and then why I'm interested in Mafa and why I think that I'd be a good fit for the positions that I applied for. So just for an intro, my name is Jane Sebastian. I am an incoming senior at Indiana University. I'm studying marketing and business analytics at the Kelley School of Business. I'm involved in a handful of organizations across campus. So I'm part of the Filipino American Association, and I am the marketing coordinator for the competitive pickleball club at IU. And I'm also part of a Kid Again, which is a volunteer organization. um, I was actually the event coordinator for the Filipino American Association when I was a sophomore and the leader of the events committee. So I have a lot of experience in creating social, philanthropic, and professional events for our members. But I think that it was a lot of fun for me to be the leader of the events committee, having a bunch of members that were freshmen and also sophomores, juniors, just like teaching them about the role and planning events. And through my experiences in my academic career and my organizations, I'm confident that I can fill the role as director of marketing or as VPE with my skills of communication, digital branding, leadership, public speaking, and collaboration. So for me, Mafa has been more than just a network. It's a community where I found belonging, identity, and a lot of my friends. And I'm running because I want to give back to this organization that's given so much to me by how by helping shape how Mafa shows up to the world and how we continue to connect with our member organizations across the Midwest. And so let me kind of start with director of marketing. So I've always been really passionate about creative communication, like designing graphics for the pickleball club, like for example, with the pickleball club at IU. I was actually there at its inception, which was kind of difficult for me to learn how to build a brand. But I was able to create engaging content that allowed us to leverage with pickleball brand sponsorships, which was pretty cool. Um, but I'm also interested in running social media and then as well as planning on full on campaigns. I love the challenge of capturing a community's essence and turning it into a consistent brand. And as director of marketing, I really want to bring creativity and strategy to the table, making sure that our content reflects what Mafa is, while reaching new audiences. And some ideas that I have is highlighting member organizations and leaders and building momentum for events like FACT. And now for the vice president external, I understand that this role is all about communication, which is what I have a lot of experience in. I know how important it is for organizations to feel heard, and seen and valued. And as VP, I want to be that bridge of communication, by staying organized and showing up for every organization. You know, whether it's checking in on events, helping new students feel heard, or creating oh my gosh, spaces for organizations to share ideas and struggles. I'm committed to keeping that communication and our relationship strong. And both of these organizations and roles come down to the same thing, which is amplifying voices and strengthening our community. And that's exactly why I want to do either of these roles. And I believe that MAFA has the power to inspire Filipino Americans and others, and I want to help elevate that inspiration. Thank you. Thanks, y'all. Can't hear you, but that's okay.
Okay. Oh, okay. Good job. That was great. I was about to put the 1 minute, but like you didn't even need it. So, okay, nice. All right. So do you need like a little break? Do you like want a sip of water?
Okay, I do have my water here.
Okay, yeah, take your time. Like take a little
It's just
moment.
what? That's crazy. But I'm good. I'm fine with whatever. I'm okay.
All right.
I got it.
Okay, you got it, girl. All right. So we're gonna move on to our Q&A session. So, we're gonna do 2 questions of VPE and then 2 questions of Director of Marketing, and then yeah, you'll be all set. So whenever Clarice asks her a question, then we'll start.
Hi, that was a really good speech. So your first question is, one of our responsibilities as VPE is to stay in contact with all the Mafa schools. You kind of touched base with this already, but how do you intend on building bonds and relationships with not only our Mafa schools, but also our alumni and other organizations we are in touch with?
Yeah, of course. So, again, I believe that consistent communication is really important. And I understand that um I think just having a schedule, so maybe it's like either Friday or Sunday, making sure to check in with each organization and seeing that they're up to date with all the MAFA events that we have, especially like FACT, I think is really important. But also with alumni, creating a CRM system, so kind of having and updating that every so often, um, is also important. Um, Sorry, a little nervous, but it's okay. Um, but again, just making sure that each organization is up to date with what they need to do in order to stay in the Mophosphere. I have had a lot of experiences, especially as event coordinator, where people aren't really responding or aren't letting us know what we need to do. And so just kind of giving them a deadline as well on communication, I think is a pretty good idea. And I think, do you guys, is there like a newsletter? I believe there is a newsletter. Yes, just making sure that they're up to date on that and that they get that newsletter is important. Sorry. Still nervous. Still nervous. But I think that having alumni panels at FACT events has been really helpful for me. I was actually originally in exercise science, and I went to an alumni panel where I went to a business panel, and I actually was really interested in that. So just making sure that we connect with the alumni and inviting them to events like FACT and MFAS is going to be an important way to keep this connection. Sorry, a little nervous, girl, but it's okay. But yeah, sorry, did that answer your question? Sometimes I just get like a little nervous. Oh, hello? Oh,
Okay, okay. So your other VPE question is VPE works very closely with each board member in different ways. So how do you intend on making your board members comfortable with working with you and coming to you for questions?
yeah, of course. So I think it's important to create a collaborative environment. I'm a pretty outgoing person. I like to talk, I like to yap. But I think just making sure that there is a space for constructive criticism. I don't take a lot of things personally. I understand that sometimes people do, and then that can lead to a deterioration of work. And so just making sure that we have checkpoints, with each executive member is pretty important. I've had experiences where I don't really see eye to eye with my executive board members, or there's just a lot of work on my plate and I'm not really able to delegate that. So I usually talk to my superiors or like my partners, especially on upper board, just to make sure that communication is clear. But I think just it's really important to create a collaborative environment and not a hostile environment, where everybody feels like their ideas can be seen and heard without any fear of judgment. And I've been in those types of spaces, and I think it's important to create that being on executive board.
All right. So I think we're gonna move on to your director of marketing questions. I'm Ange, by the way. And so your first question for director of marketing is what excites you most about this role and what would you bring to it?
Cool. So again, I have like experience in a marketing role, but I think what's most exciting is just kind of getting to work with director of media and being able to create content and take content and kind of putting it into an engaging brand, but just learning more about the member schools, I think is what most excites me, being able to get what they do and maybe even bring it into my organization or share it with other organizations, especially with things like dancing, Filipino cultural performances, I think is really cool. But I think what I'm able to bring to the table is creative collaboration. Especially if I'm going to be talking with these member organizations, I think that creating content and graphics is something that I'm super excited about. I've seen your guys' page. Pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's really consistent, especially with all your guys' posts. But just being able to like kind of add on to that is something that I'm really excited for.
Awesome. So we'll bring you to your last question, which will be what changes or improvements would you like to see on Mafa's platforms throughout your term?
Changes. That's a good question. Especially I know this is a director of marketing question, but I kind of also want to like tie this into VPE. Sorry, I'm trying to like think of it as a director of marketing question, but I'm kind of like seeing it as a VP question. So can I kind of go into that as well? Okay. So, for me, especially as a freshman and sophomore, I haven't been that active because I was actually abroad last semester, but I think like some of the problems that I saw was just like not getting a lot of engagement, especially with the CAP program. And I really wanted to be a part of it, but I think just like seeing engagement with the followers, I think I'd have to do a lot of research and talk with my executive team and see what kind of the problems are and what the goals of the organization would be, and then kind of creating content through as marketing coordinator, such as let me think, kind of getting onto our TikTok platform as well. And then posting what we have on TikTok, oh my gosh, on Instagram, I think would create engaging content, getting people to kind of create competitions. I know Filipinos are definitely competitive. So just having competitions for member schools, I think would be really cool to see. But kind of just like figuring out ways, maybe with executive board members, to just make the CAP program and getting more people involved in that, I think is something that I want to see in the future. Period.
Okay, very good. Okay. Good job, good job. All right. You did
Also, I
amazing,
knew,
girl. You did really
sorry,
good. Trembling in my boots.
I
No, that's
know.
good though. You did really good. I know like getting asked questions on spot can be like really hard, like a little
Oh,
stressful, but you did amazing. Um, so yeah, thank you again for applying and interviewing for Mafa board. You did amazing with your speech, your questions. We love you, so we'll give you another round of applause.
thanks, y'all. Thanks. I'm gonna eat it.
All right. So for the next steps, we'll be interviewing like the other applicants until June 4th. So with that, so after that, MAFA members and organizations will be voting from June 8th to the 14th, which MAFA members will be allotted one vote, and then MAFA e-board members will be allotted 2 votes. And then for those
Mhm.
opposed, they must receive the 2/3 of the vote to be elected. And then once all the votes are collected, the results will be emailed on June 15th. Yep. Do you have any
Great.
questions for us?
No, I think you basically answered them. I was just gonna ask like what are the next steps and everything. But other than that, I don't have to do anything, correct?
Nope, you just have to wait for our email until June 15th.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. I just want to make sure I didn't have to do anything else.
No, you're all good. Like, that's all good. Like, you just get to relax now.
Okay, thank you so
Of
much.
course. Well, we're
Okay.
all done. Thank you.